So this is an unedited episode. Uh, if you're not aware, this channel is having a zombie marathon, a zombie-thon, where I'll be reviewing a zombie movie every day leading up to Halloween. So if you're not aware of it, check it out. It's a whole lot of fun. White Zombie was the first one to be released, and there's definitely more to come. But I just watched the Borat 2 trailer, and I think that it's very reflective of the state of comedy right now, just in general. Because if you guys remember in the 2000s, we think of nowadays superhero movies, everywhere is a superhero movie. Back in the early 2000s, before the whole superhero craze, it was the R-rated movie craze. You had stuff like this, Borat, Bruno. You had the Judd Apatow movies. You had some of the Adam Sandler movies that were R-rated. Will Ferrell, Step Brothers, stuff like that. They were cranking out R-rated comedies in Hollywood. And this movie, the first one, Borat, came out right in the middle of that whole not zombie craze. I got zombie movies on my mind. No, but Borat came out during that R-rated comedy boom of the 2000s. And I think Borat is a comedic masterpiece. And I actually even think Bruno steps it up and is better than Borat. But I hold them on the same plane. I think they're both masterpieces. What Sacha Baron Cohen does well with those movies is that he criticizes America, but without being too cynical or being too, without being too cynical about it. Because you watch Borat and it's basically a criticism of America at that time. It came out post 9/11, came out around 2006, so 5 years after 9/11, during Bush administration, and it was a commentary on America during that time period, talking about stuff like the false patriotism, talking about stuff like the xenophobia that arose from 9/11. He tackled a lot of different issues, but it wasn't bashing you over the head with it. And same thing with Bruno, right? Bruno was a bit more over the top, but he had a lot to say about even like the place of religion in America, bunch of the way we treat celebrity in America. That was a big component of Bruno. So Sacha Baron Cohen, what he's able to do is to take these real life scenarios and basically make it into a criticism of America. But it never felt very, it never felt cynical. It just felt like parody. So yeah, love Borat, obviously. I think it's great. I still watch it to this day and laugh my ass off. But the Borat 2 trailer, there were parts I thought were okay, funny. Overall, it didn't really make me laugh. So in the first Borat movie, he had that fat sidekick who was really funny in the movie. Now he's got a daughter, and I think the main criticism people are going to have with Borat 2 is going to be this girl, like the daughter. She's just a little too over the top, just not funny. Borat is over the top as well, but there's something lovable about him. He's like just so naive and like, yeah, you just kind of like the guy. This girl is just a bit too obnoxious. And overall, the trailer had more jokes that didn't land than did land. But there's a more underlying thing going on in the comedy that is reflective of comedy nowadays. And I just think there's too much humor revolving around politics. And that's fine. I think we should be able to make fun of our politicians. But I feel like it's so predominant nowadays that people just use it as an easy laugh. You say something and you add a punchline involving the president, and that's the joke, because the president is bad, and you put that in there, and it makes the joke funny. I view it as cheap humor at this point, and Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park, talked about the whole Trump issue and said, we're not going to do Trump humor anymore because everyone's doing it. South Park has always been an edgy show, and it's always been about pushing the envelope. Why would we do Trump humor if everyone else is doing it? So they came out against it. Dave Chappelle, I remember an interview, was it Dave Chappelle or Norm Macdonald? How am I mixing up the two? Maybe it's because I just watched the movie Screwed. No, but one of those two guys, they were talking in an interview, and this was right when the president got elected, and they asked him, do you think that the president's election is going to cause there to be a comedy resurgence? Do you think it's a good thing for comedy? And right after the election, one of those two guys said, no, this is a bad thing for comedy, because everyone's going to be doing the same joke. And you go on Jimmy Kimmel's YouTube channel, Jimmy Fallon's YouTube channel, all these different people's YouTube channels, and it's all jokes involving today's political world. Even when you watch movies done by Will Ferrell recently, he did a Sherlock Holmes movie that sucked, but even that movie had jokes about current politics in it. It's a little overdone at this point. And when Borat first came out, the first movie came out, no one was really doing that, pushing the envelope like Sacha Baron Cohen was doing. And Borat 2 just kind of feels a little too late. Which is, I thought the show he made for HBO, Who is America, I thought that was a pretty good show, and that was pretty decent. I laughed really hard watching that with my friends. Yeah, I'm just a little sick of political humor in general. I'm just dying to watch a slapstick comedy in the theaters. Film is escapism to me, and when you just put political humor in your film for a cheap laugh, it removes that element of escapism. And, yeah, I don't know. But at the same time, it is necessary to talk about these issues. I'm a little conflicted on this situation, because at the same time, what are you going to put a cap on the number of, political humor media there is out there? I don't know. I feel now more so than ever, there's a need for non-political humor, because everything you go nowadays is so bipartisan, and it's a red team versus blue team. I feel now is the best time to have just a comedy show that unites both sides together. Just something nothing to do with that shit, man. Just I don't know, something slapsticky, something goofy, just something like Step Brothers. If you're red team or blue team, you love Step Brothers. Not a doubt in my mind. It's a perfect movie, Step Brothers. So yeah, maybe that's why I'm a little not a fan of the whole Borat 2 trailer, because it does have some political humor that it is starting to get repetitive. Whilst Borat 1, when it came out, it was very edgy, and no one else was doing that, and it felt a little punk rocky. I think Sacha Baron Cohen should step out of that wheelhouse just for a while. And he is doing that. He's in a movie coming out called The Trial of the Chicago 7, directed by Aaron Sorkin. I've never seen him do dramatic acting. The closest I've seen him was Sweeney Todd, but that was a little over the top as well. So it's going to be interesting to see him in this movie. But yeah, I think the problem is not as much the movie, just me being a little fatigued by everything. Yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Like, I don't know if I'm alone on this. Also, I'm Canadian, so maybe it's like watching so much political humor from America doesn't resonate as much to me because I'm in Canada and I have my own politics going on there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think.